What's up guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to play N.I.B by Black Sabbath off of their first album. And this is a really cool song, nothing too complicated. The rhythm guitar parts are pretty easy, but very cool. And we're also going to take a look at the two solos. So this is going to be the studio version. And I know that there are two guitars going on at the same time on the rhythm and on the solos. And the solos on the left and right channel, you know, are a little bit different from each other, but we're just going to take a look at one guitar part, the lead guitar, and we're going to break it down, both of the solos. All of the tabs and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com as a package. You can check out the link in the description box down below. Also, I will post the link onto my other channel where I'm going to put the whole playthrough of the entire song, if YouTube allows it, so you can check out that as well. For the sound, I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig. We're going to be in standard tuning, just like the first album by Black Sabbath. So while you are checking out the pictures of the picture of the preset for the sound, I'm going to play you my low E string so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, so we're going to break up the lesson into two parts. We're going to start off first with the rhythm guitar. We're going to cover that, and then we'll move on to the lead guitar. We'll cover the solos, the first and the second one. So starting with the rhythm guitar. So in the beginning we have the main riff, which is being played in the intro and also during the verses. It's going to go like this. Alright, so it's pretty straightforward. What we have here is the main riff. First part goes. So we have the E power chord at the 12th position. So we play it two times, then we go down to D, back to E again. So it's little rest, and then we have, so it's G going one fret down to the F sharp. Then we repeat again the first part. Now here we have three different endings. The first one, so we're bending the G string on the 14th fret, bend it up, and then play the 12th fret, add some vibrato. So this one, this ending is being played every time when Ozzy is singing "Oh Yeah," that line, and it's also being played just before we get into the verses. So every time when we play the riff two times before the verses, the first ending is this one, and then the second ending is gonna be, so it's a slide up the neck and then adding the trill on the A string between 12th and 14th frets. Just a quick one. And now this one, the second ending, we're going to be using also in the verses, during the verses. Now the third ending we have, this one. So it's a double stop on the 12th fret on the second, third, and sometimes you can catch the 4th string. So it's right here at the 12th fret, and you hit it twice and you slide out. Now it goes like this. So when we play, like I said, the the riff during the pre-verse, so 2 times. The first time, like I said, the ending is this one, and then the second time we have this one with the slide up, it's down and up the neck, and adding the trill. And then when we get to the verses, we alternate the double stop with the trill. So we alternate between these two. And actually, because we played during the verse 4 times the riff, so the first time Tony's playing the double stop, second time the trill, then again the double stop, and then fourth time he just plays slide in and out. All right, so let me just play through the pre-verse and the verse all together, so you can see how it goes. It's gonna go like this. Alright, so that's pretty much the rhythm guitar during the verses and also the pre-verse. Now we go into another section which is being played in between the verses. And the first, we're going to call it interlude. The first part is going to go like this. So we have this melody going on. It's repeated 3 times. So we have a quick hammer on from 5th to the 7th fret on the A string. Then we go to the D string. We play 5, 7. Then we have a quick pull off. And then we go to the A string on the 7th fret and pick it 2 times. So it's... And basically you repeat it for 3 times, like I said, and then the 4th time, or in the end, we have... It's a unison bend, so we're bending the B string on the 10th fret, full step, and we fret at the same time the 7th fret on the high E string. So unison bend. Like that. So that's the interlude, and it goes like this. It comes down to the structure now. So when we play the first verse, after that we play this interlude. Then we go into the second verse. We play exactly the same as we did with the first verse. And then in the end of the second verse, we have another part which is kind of like a bridge. So let me just play it through first, and then we're going to break it down. So it's going to go like this. So again, pretty straightforward, nothing complicated. Here we go. We start off, the first part of the chord progression starts off with the E chord, power chord, and as you can see, I rolled down the volume on my guitar because we want to bring down the distortion, the overdrive a little bit. So make it a little bit cleaner, but still have a little bit overdrive on the guitar. So we have the E, then we hit it again, either the chord or just as a passing note, muted strings. Then we go to D, then we do the same going down to C, down to B, and we repeat it again. And then after that, the second part is just we're playing between B and the C. and we're going B, C, B, C, and then B, and let it ring out for until the end of the section, basically. In the same manner, so we hit the chord, let it ring out for the whole bar, and in the end of the bar, hit it again and go to the next chord, and it's repeated throughout the entire section. So now, after the second verse, we play this part, and then we go back to playing the third verse. The third verse is exactly the same as the first one, and in the end we go into the again this part. All right, so it's exactly the same, and then after that we go into the first solo. Now let me just take a moment and explain the structure, so we don't, repeat it again when we start breaking down the solos. So after the solo, we go and play the verse again with the pre-verse. So again with the Alright, so this part is exactly the same. And then we get into the verse, and here Tony, for some reason, changes a little bit. I mean, that's what on the studio album. So instead of playing first time, starting with the double stop here, he plays again, the trill. So he kind of reversed it now. So again, he plays the trill, double stop, the trill, and then the slide out. Okay. So that's the only difference with the first and the second verses. And then again we play the bridge section, so it's and so on and so forth. And then we play yet another verse, which is like the first and the second. And then we go again into the interlude, into this part, and we go into the last solo. So that's it for the rhythm guitar. We covered all of the parts. It all comes down to the structure now. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward, and a lot of parts are repeated. So just listen carefully, watch the playthrough that I'm gonna have on my other channel, and just try to follow along. And now we're gonna move on to the second part of the lesson. So we're gonna break down the lead guitar now, the solos, and we're gonna start off with the first solo. Alright, so after we've played the interlude, we go into the first solo. So it starts off like this. We're gonna break it up into licks and phrases. So the first phrase, couple of phrases, are gonna go like this. Alright, I'm gonna stop right here. So we start off with 5th fret on the D string, then we have a quick hammer-on pull-off 4-5-4 on the same string, go into the 7th fret on the A string. So it's, then we repeat it again, then we have, so we go 4-5-7 on the D string, onto the G string, 4th fret, pick it twice, add some vibrato on the 2nd note, then we have a slide from the 4th to the 7th fret, then pick it again, add vibrato, then we have hammer on 7 to 9 and add this and pick this note again, add some vibrato. We stay on this note for 2 beats, then we have, so we have 3 bends here, the first 2 8th notes, and then the third one we stay a little bit longer for 2 beats, and it's a gradual release, and then in the end you play hammer-on pull-off 7-9-7, add some vibrato, then we pick the note and we go into the next phrase. By the way, I'm going to be playing the solos, all of the parts, all of the licks and phrases together slowly in the end of this part, after we break it down. So moving on, we have the next phrase, which goes like this. Okay, so here what we do is we slide into the 9th fret and we pick it in the 16th notes. So we slide, pick it 2 more times, then we have again the slide into the notes and pick it 2 more times. So we have like that. And then we go into 8th notes. So from here we have, so you go, the last note is going to be 9th fret on the G, then we go to the B string 8th fret. Then here we have a quick pull off 16th notes, 10 to 8 on the same string on the B string. Going to the G string 9th fret. Then we are back to the B string 8, 10. So far we got this slowly. And also Tony on some notes is using the staccato technique, meaning, you know, a short notes, so kind of like a little rests in between. All right, moving on to the next bar. So we have, so here we have a bend and release pull off on the B string 10th fret, pulling off to the 8, and then the first one, so it's back to the 10th fret and then 9 on the G string. Then we have, so it's the same thing, bending up, bringing down, pull off, but this time we go 10, 8, and we do it for 2 times. So these 3 licks together, like that, and then we have 2 bends, full step, on the 10th fret, quarter notes, and the second bend we're staying on it for 2 beats, and then on the 3rd beat you pick the notes, the string, bring it quickly down, and then we have 8 to 10, back to the 8th fret. Okay, so just these 2 bends are gonna go like this slowly. And then you slide out. So one more time, the whole phrase up to this point, starting with these slides, is gonna go like this slowly. All right, after that we go into the next part. The next phrase is gonna go like this. It starts off on the off beat, but it's just like in the beginning. So like I said, it starts off on the off beat, so we have 1 and again you have 5th fret, then hammer on pull off on the D string 4, 5, 4, going to the A string 7th fret, and then we have in 8th notes, so it's 4, 5, 7, then we go to the G string 4, 2 notes here, the second one you add vibrato, you stay for a quarter note, then we have slides, so from 4th fret to the 7th to the 9th, you pick that note, add some vibrato, then again we have continue the slides, so it's 9 to 12, you pick that note, then we have 12 to 14, bend, and then add the 12 frets on the B string, which is the same note as this one, bend. You can just stay on the bend for 2 beats, or you can, you know, add that note. Anyway, let me just go back to the beginning of the phrase and do it again. Slowly, it's gonna go like this. Then we continue with the next phrase. It's gonna go like this. So we pick the high E on the 12th fret, 2 8th notes. Then we have the bend and release on the 15th fret on the B string. You bring it down, you go 15, 12, and then you get into this repetitive phrase, which is, so it's pull off 15 to 12 on a high E, and then you play 12 on the B string. It's 16th notes, so we play it for 4 times. And then on the 4th beat of the bar, you bend up the high E string on the 15th fret. All right, moving on to the next phrase is gonna go like this. I'm gonna stop right here. So we have 15th fret on a high E string after the bend that we have. So you bring it down, then you have quick hammer-on pull-off 12, 15, 12. Go into 15 on the B string, high E12, and then we have, so it's 2 16th notes here, 15 to 12 on the B string, then we have an 8th note, 14th fret on the G string, bent up, then we have 12 on B12 on high E, 15 on the B string, and you go for the bend. So altogether, just this phrase, this bar is gonna go like this slowly. So we get into the next bar. We have, so we had the bend on the B string, 15th fret, and then we have quickly 16th notes. So it's 12 on high E, going to the B string, 15 to 12 pull off, bend on the G string, 14th fret, and going 12 to 15 on the B string, like that. And then we have 2 bends on the G string, 14th fret. The last one is a quarter note, and then the ending of the solo is, so it's 14th fret, you bring it down after the bend, you pick that note, then you have a quick hammer-on pull-off 12, 14, 12 on the G string, go into the D string 14, back to the G12, and then you have, so it's a pre-bend on the 14th fret on the G string. You pre-bend, you bend the string without picking it, and then you pick it, you bring it down, and then you play 12 on the G string. So it's like that. So that's the whole solo. By the way, because all of these licks and phrases are based on the pentatonic, in this instance it's E minor pentatonic. If you have troubles with you know, these quick hammer-ons, pull-offs, and all of this kind of stuff, I have a course which is called Penta Madness, which is concentrating for developing the speed and accuracy and timing, and you know, it's just in general a very good course for developing this kind of style of playing. I suggest you check it out. I will link it in the description box down below, and it covers all of these things, you know, like Tony Iommi played, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and all these guys, using the pentatonics predominantly, and predominantly in the first position, but the main goal here is to develop the speed and accuracy and synchronization between the left and the right hands. So if you're interested, check it out. But now I'm gonna play the whole solo, all of the licks and phrases back to back together, slowly. It's gonna go like this. moving on, we're gonna now break down the second solo. So like I said before, the structure, I explained it how it goes. So we're just gonna jump right into the explanation of the second solo. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna break it up into licks and phrases. So the first couple of phrases are exactly the same as in the first solo. So let me just play it through. It goes like this. So the only difference is here, when you get to the 9th fret, you stay on the note for 2 beats, and then in the first solo we had, 3 bends here in this place, but here in the second solo he just plays two bends here, kind of longer ones, and then he goes into hammer on pull off 7-9-7. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention is on the studio recording, there are actually 2 solos, 2 guitars are playing solos, and about 70% or something like that are exactly the same, but some of the parts differ. So that's why you hear different parts on the left and right channels. But for the sake of this lesson, we're just going to take one guitar, one solo guitar, and break down that. Alright, so up to this part is exactly the same as we did in the first solo, with the exception of the bends here, which are less bends, 2 bends, and kind of longer ones. Then we get into the next phrase, and it's gonna go like this. Alright, let me stop right here. So again, we have this sliding into the 9th fret. We play 3 notes, picking 3 notes, and then sliding into it again. So in the first solo we did only 1.5, so we had, and then we get into another phrase. But here Tony is playing for 4 times. And as you can see, it becomes sort of like a rhythmical displacement, because we're playing 16th notes, 4 notes, but we're playing them in groups of 3. So, we have this rhythmical displacement a little bit. Anyway, so we have 4 times of these 3 notes that we play, the slides. And then we go into, we jump right up to the 15th fret on the B string. You bend up, you bring it down, and then you have. So let's break down this phrase. So it's a bend on the G string 14th fret. You bend it up and you go right into the 12th on the same string. Then we have a quick pull off, 14 to 12 on the G string, going to the D string on 14th fret. Then we're back to the G string. We have 12, 14, pre-bend, bring it down and go to the 12th. So just this bar slowly is going to go like this. And also, again, we're using the staccato technique, which means that we have like short notes, little rests in between. So it goes like that. Then we continue. We have, so we have 14 on the G string, 14 on the D, back to the G string, 12 to 14. All of these are 8 notes, and then we have 2 bends on the G string, 14th fret. First one is a quarter note, second one we stay on it for 2 beats. It's a kind of gradual release. And then we continue, we have, so it's a hammer on pull off, and then another hammer on, 12, 14, 12, 14 on the G string, and then back to the 12th, adding some vibrato, and then we go into the next phrase which goes like this. Alright, let me stop right here. So it starts off with a, so it's kind of classical blues lick here. So bending the G string, 14th fret, going to the B string 12, high E 12. We have a bend on the 15th fret on the B string. That's a quarter note. Then we play 15 to 12 on the B string, bend 15th fret up on the high E, bring it down. Then we have quick hammer-on pull-off 12, 15, 12 on the high E, going to the for the B string on the 15th fret bend, and going for the 12 on the high E. So let's continue this phrase. Alright, let me stop right here. So 12 on high E, 15 on B, then we have 2/16 notes here. So 12 on the B, quick bends on the G string 14th fret, going back to the B string. High E 12, then we have 15, pre-bend, pick the string and bring down on the B string, like that. Alright, so let me just go back a little bit and play all of this up to this point. It's gonna go like this. So starting with this lick. So it's gonna go like this. Alright, continue. We have the following phrase. So we have hammer-on pull-off 12, 14, 12 on the B string, quick one, going to the G string 14th fret. Then we have quickly bending up the string on the G string, 14th fret, bring it down, pull off to 12, and then you play between 14, 12, 14, 12, again using the staccato technique. And then we finish off this phrase with 3 bends on the 14th fret on the G string. Like that. And then we go into again this repetitive phrase that we did before. But we do it for full 3 bars. Okay, so again, pulling off 15 to 12 on high E, going to the B string on the 12th fret. And it's a repetitive lick, like I said, we play for 3 bars. A little bit hard to keep the the number, how many times you have to do it, but instead I would just suggest that you keep your foot going on, and also listen to the bass player, because he changes the notes on the bass, so you can hear when it's changing. So that means you've covered the first bar, the second bar, and then the third bar. And yeah, just you have to rely on the drums and the bass guitar. And then we have the ending part of the solo of the whole song, actually. So it goes into this. Alright, so this ending. So here we're just playing kind of bends and quick hammer-ons, pull-offs on the high E and the B strings. But if we have to be precise, so the first phrase is bending the high E on the 15, bring it down, then play hammer-on, pull-off 12, 15, 12. Then go to the B string, you play again. Pick that notes. Pick that string on the 15th fret, then you bend it up, bring it down, then again hammer-on, pull-off. Then another bend, bring down, then another hammer-on, pull-off. So just this bar is going to go like this slowly. Then we kind of repeat the same thing in the next bar. So we have, and then this time we have on the G string, bend up, 14th fret, bring it down, then hammer on, pull off, and then we end this with the 3 bends. So the first one is full step, and then the next 2 he's slightly over bending. So it's like a step and a quarter and step and a half. So every time it's, you know, a little bit higher. And the last one is kind of gradual release, bend and release. And then we have, you know, just playing the chord, the E chord, let it ring out, and then we have the ending phrase. Kind of typical blues ending. So it goes a grace note or quick hammer on the D string, 12 to 14. Then we go to the G, 12 to 14. Then so it's a pre-bend, release, pull off, then another pull off, 14, 12, 14 on the D string, G 12, back to the D 14, and all of this is played kind of free form. All right, so it's like that, and then we have kind of triplet feel. So 14th fret with a grace note on the D string, 12, and then you go to the A string, 14, 12, 11. Typical ending of the blues, you know, to end on the major third. And then in the end we have just a chord and slide out. So that's pretty much it for the second solo. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play all of the licks and phrases slowly, back to back, together. So it's gonna go like this. Alright guys, so that was it for this lesson. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.